guys, Robo46 here and welcome yourselves finally back to Robo's Racing League on Xbox One on MotoGP 15. This time we are doing a Moto2 league. We are at round 1, which is Jerez. Let's see how qualifying went. So one racer is on pole, closely followed by Dylan in second. RRL99 is in third. He done exactly the same time as Dylan. And what you will see on the grid is, for some reason, the way that the MotoGP games are coded by milestone, they actually switch places on the front row. So RRL actually starts in second and Dylan in third. Jerez is fourth. ML007 Heskey is fifth. Brandy Scales sixth. I'm in seventh. Morland 97 in eighth. GSXR Map 24 in 9th and Biker 7202 in 10th. Right, let's get on with the action. You see what I mean about our Morland and Dylan switching around on the actual qualifications. It put Dylan a second, but he starts third because logic, obviously. Right, there's a couple of corners I've been struggling with, but we'll see how it goes. So off the line, it wasn't a too bad start, but everyone else got a really good start as well. So I was in 8th at the moment. Morland 97 unfortunately disconnected, so he was not actually in the race, but he will get points for last place. Now at this point I was actually dead last. A few people going wide, so I tried to take advantage of that. People all over the place, up to 7th momentarily. It's nice to see a bit more variety of bike liveries on in the league, because in the MotoGP league it was just all Yamahas and the occasional Ducati. Most of us are on Calexes, but some are on the, well, a lot are on the Mark VDS. Me and I think one other person is on the HP Pons Calex, and then I think there's like 2 of them on Speed Up. There goes one Speed Up, but I get him back. So at 7th at the moment, there's Brandy Scales just ahead of me. My teammate and the front group changing places left, right and centre, but they are slowly starting to pull away. This is a section I kind of struggled with. I don't know why. I just can't seem to get these 2 corners right. And that's where I lose shitloads of time. Into Lorenzo's corner. And that is the end of the first lap. So currently in 7th. Not really where I want to be, but you know. I really need to sort out my setup for my Moto2 bike, because it's not that good. Oh, there goes Brandy Scales crashing at that horrible corner. It's quite easy to crash there. So now in 6th place. There's a bit of a gap between myself and Jerez in 5th. It is the devil's number of 0.666. Could I get onto the back of him? Could I catch him up? I don't know. I know that one of my strongest places is this braking area we're coming into now. You see a few people going quite wide on the exit. Again, a few more overtakes up ahead. And it's pretty much going to be like that the whole race, just names moving about at the front. So Jerez has got a little gap up to 4th place now. And it come down a little bit between myself and Jerez. It was still 0.6, but it was a bit less, not much. But this, you'll see, they start to pull away again into Lorenzo. And then trying to get decent drive out. 0.8 now, so again losing about 0.2, maybe a bit more in that last sector. At the moment it is starting to be quite a boring race for me because the people in front were pulling away. NJ just tried to overtake Moto2, but Moto2 got him back. Yeah, I had a decent gap behind me and 0.7 in front of me, and the gap up to NJ was pretty much yo-yoing and staying pretty much consistent. Just trying to see if I can just get with them, but it wasn't looking good. Dylan just goes into the lead. Again, more overtakes at the front. And Jerk and Moto2 are battling. You see the gap to Jerk is basically a second. Brandy Scales, he's slowly catching me, which is a bit annoying. So we come round to finish the third lap. Emil just set the fastest lap of the race. Again, 0.999. Doesn't tell us what the gap is back to Brandy Scales. There were meant to be a couple more people racing as well, but one unfortunately wasn't available and one just forgot. 1.6 back to Brandy now, so he close up 0.2 in the last lap. One racer goes into the lead. 0.8, so again it's pretty stable, and then a crash for Moto2, who was in 4th place at the time. I'm now in 5th. One racer again battling at the front. I was starting to get a little bit excited because 5th place was definitely better than where I was. Gap still there between N-Jerk and 3rd place. He definitely pulled away from me, and he was starting to catch those guys. See what that gap is over the line. As I look behind me, I can see that Brandy Scales and Moto2 is starting to catch me. 1.4. The front completely went into the first corner. That was my first warning. And then into this corner. At this point, I kind of realised it was going horribly wrong. Down I go. I even got a penalty as well, even though I gained no advantage whatsoever, and my bike went to the outside of the track, not the inside. So now I was down in 7th, and the position just spazzed out a little bit, so I was 6th. But right behind Brandy Scales now. Now I had a battle on my hands. Moto2 just in front of Brandy Scales. And of course, me knowing that I've got that stupid penalty from crashing, because according to Miles saying, crashing is not punishment enough. And the fact that these two guys were actually starting to catch me was making me worry a bit, because now that I was with them, I was worried that they were going to start pulling away, especially when I make stupid mistakes like I just did. Trying to stay with Brandy. Maybe force them into an error. Come to finish the 5th lap. A bit wide on the exit over the curb, which loses a bit of time. Really wide into Lorenzo's, try to cut it back for a decent exit. The battle still rages on at the front. Bit later on in lap 6. And I am right with Brandy Scales now. Get a better drive than him in his slipstream. Two fast right-handers. He goes over the curb, which loses a bit of drive then again, and then on the grass. So I actually gain some time in that sector. And move back up to 6th. And then he goes back into 6th place. Apparently 1 lap ahead. Now I had to try and re-attack him. He had a big slide then, which allowed me to get better drive. Back in the 6th, he tries again. Have it under control, still in 6th place. Armour lands up the road 1.765 seconds. Could I pull away from Brandy Scales? I was definitely going to try to. Only a few laps remaining, and of course that penalty always sticking in the back of my mind. I had to try and pull away over half a second from Brandy Scales, but at the moment he was staying with me, making my life very difficult. Come into the last sector. He was all over the back of me. It was nowhere near half a second. Into the final corner. A bit wide. Tried to get a good exit, stand it up. But the rear spins. And a big high side. And down I go. Annoyingly. And then I was back in 7th place. Didn't get a penalty that time for crashing. And now we're going to go over to one racer because they were having a much more exciting race than I was. We're on lap 9 now. He was battling for 2nd place at the moment with Emil. One racer decided to go for the speed up. Into 3rd, back up to 2nd, back down to 3rd. This is why the names kept changing on my screen, because they were just constantly changing places. Dylan in the lead at the moment. Good exit there from one racer, goes back up to 2nd place. Very wide from Dylan there, going off track, track extending. Final corner a bit wide, tries to cut it back. Gets a good drive. Emil right in the slipstream. And then final lap. Emil tries to get up the inside, doesn't quite work. To the downhill. And down goes Emil, clips the curb, down he went. 2nd place, looks secure for one racer, but could he catch Dylan in 1st place? N-Jerk now 3rd because of that crash from Emil. Just under a second behind, so he was definitely catching these guys. The gap was a lot bigger than that earlier on in the race, but he got his head down. One racer's rider doing his weird side saddling thing when I'm going down this straight. Dylan goes wide. half a second, basically 0.6 of a second. Final sector. It was looking good for Dylan. Into Lorenzo's for the final time. Really wide from one racer. And I think N-Jerk went a bit wide as well. And there you go. Just switch over to me for the final part of the lap. On the final lap. Again, in 7th place. And there we go. That's pretty much it. Of course, had that penalty as well. Tried my best, but it wasn't meant to be. Here are the results. Dylan won, closely followed by one racer in second. N-Jerk was third. MO007 Heskey was fourth. Armorland 99 fifth. Brandy Scales 6th, me in 7th, Biker 7202 in 8th, GSXR Matt in 9th, and Moreland 97, who had that disconnect, gets 10th place. So that is the race results. The championship is going to look exactly the same, but we'll just run through it quickly. Dylan gets his 25 points for a win. Second place, one racer with 20 points, N-Jerk in third with 16. Emil 4th with 13 points, Moreland 99 in 5th with 11, Brandy Scales in the 6th with 10, me in 7th with 9, Biker in 8th with 8, GSXR Matt in 9th with 7, and Moreland 97 in 10th with 6. So, that is the first race. Hopefully I can do a bit better in the second race. The next race is at Le Mans. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to leave this video a like, it helps me a lot. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content. And I shall see you guys in the next video. See you!